Guys, my next adventure and tournament takes me to Dale Hollow Lake, situated on the Tennessee and Kentucky border. This massive lake with over 27,000 acres is one of my absolute favorite places to fish. And it just so happens to not only have some of the best scenery out of all the lakes I've been to, but it's home of the world record smallmouth. Those are some feeding fish. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm looking for here. These fish are keying in on the grass, particularly in about that 18 to 20 foot of water. So if you look, here's grass, and I'm looking, and those fish are hanging right off of it. So what I'm doing, let's go to, I am going to mark, so I understand kind of how everything lays out. I will cruise this line and drop waypoints. I always put my little grass down on the edge of the grass. That way I understand kind of how it sets up, so I can make casts and keep my bait on the edge of that grass as long as possible. Yeah, plenty of grass. Saw some active fish feeding. Man, Dale Hollow is a spectacular lake. So as you can see, I pretty much have a kayak rig 3 different ways, and all of my baits are shad baitfish imitations. That was kind of what I was finding when I saw those active fish feeding. I've got a weightless caffeine shad, basically a soft jerk bait. Works really, really well in that gin clear water. This guy right here was my most productive. So I was literally dragging this bait in about that 15 foot of water on the edge of grass. There's my weed guard, and this is how that would look. And so when you're dragging it like that, those smallmouth would just come and pick it up off the bottom. So you really didn't feel much of a bite, and that's where that ultra sensitive rod really came into play. One of my fish came on the drop shot. Again, KVD Magic, a really good natural shad imitation.
Well, those fish are definitely in the grass. So the trick is finding multiple fish in one location. It is brutal cold. There's a 10-mile-an-hour wind from the northeast. But that's fishing. It is cold. But picking up some fish in the grass and makes it worth it.
Well, this pretty much summed up my tournament. There was a 12 to 15 mile an hour wind, freezing rain literally all freaking day. I switched baits more than I can count. I about threw everything in the book. My pattern didn't hold up. I didn't even get bit. And I felt like Ralph off the Christmas Story. I couldn't hardly move. I had so many layers on. I was still pretty hopeful. I was marking fish in 30 foot of water, so I thought I could downsize a little bit and at least get something to bite. That actually didn't happen. And that look pretty much says it all. Out of 40 some anglers, most guys didn't get a fish. Very few got their 3 fish limit, and the guys that did, turns out the spoon was a hot bait with those conditions, something that I didn't even think about throwing. That's the beauty of it. You learn, and you're going to have bad tournaments. But I appreciate you all watching, and stay tuned for next time.